allow the children to the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
off your mind. Off your
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, this man not the off in mind, my ego don't come,
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube.
Please share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. And tell them, Mayegun ti today, Motun today. Do you even understand what that means, right? That's part of my song. That if you do well, Mayegun will say. And if you don't do well, of course, Mayegun will talk. And as for Godfathers, no. Don't even bring them close. After the lie about a student loan, they have come up with another one. Youth loan. You just need to be patient a little bit more, and the hardship will make sense. Share the broadcast.
Lórí Facebook,
Ladies and gentlemen, brethren in the temple of truth, have you been following the coup in Niger Republic? Boko Haram destroyed Nigeria, and it felt like it would go and retire in Niger Republic. I don't think that is going to happen anymore.
And of course,
incoming ministers, Alibaba and 28 thieves. One of the thieves was in fact speaking in tongue to celebrate the new sort of, what do you call it again? Promotion or invitation to the table. Come and chop. Motideo. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to every one of you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. Again, consider this as the usual update from this table of Koolu's mismatched Bulaba Balabulu policies that he called renewed hope. A lot of people kind of have started seeing it as renewed shege. In fact, those who were once singing, Emi Lokan, it is my turn, it is my turn. I have also discovered that they have started singing Eni Kan Lomo, my brother, in 2 months. Eni Kan Lomo means it's only those this Nigeria affects right now can tell you how it actually feels. Emi Lokan, Eni Kan Lomo. And I want to kind of believe that these are just intro to the upcoming shege. I've told you this many times. I'm not wishing it on you. I actually wish you what you wish yourselves. Okay? So even if you know that, number one, I don't have a chance of voting in your election. Number two, I don't support your charade election. Number three, I believe that this whole thing is going to end the way it is. But however, I am more interested, not just me, we're interested in where this is headed. To people like myself who have advised many times, right, that the current Nigeria that you have is no longer the Nigeria they raised you or, kind of taught you about. It is a different one completely. And this one that you have, the moment it's going to implode, you will witness what is worse than the genocidal civil war of 1967 to 1970. I have said that, and I said to avoid all of that. It is ideal before you do any election to at least sit down together and discuss and kind of have a conversation if you still want to be together as a country. They said, no. Once we get to election, we'll kick them out and all of that. That's okay. So today, for those who were hell-bent, because Koolu had the experience, he made people, despite what they have seen under APC, and those who also felt like, no, if this guy is continuing, now die. Today, everybody is existing in that same space. And more or less like a ticking time bomb. So to people like myself, it is all heading, it's headed there somewhere that the first advice where you'll be like, shall we really want to live together? Do we really want to be one country? Under what conditions? You know how messed up it is right now, Abi? Now, they are talking about coup. in Africa. Coup, counter coup. Now, what the coupists are saying is that the democratically elected politicians, they have abused all privileges and all protocols to the point that a lot of them in their countries, they have become law unto themselves, corrupt to the teeth. So they wanted to rescue their country from these civilian coupists. That's what they call them. So in West Africa, you have military coup, civilian coup. So now that everybody is talking about coup, and it is becoming something that is coming so close to home, the one that happened in Niger or Niger Republic has kind of prompted some Nigerians to believe that if a coup should happen in Nigeria, it will be a saving grace. With the audacity of their politicians now, they don't give a damn, and people know. Yeah? So, a section are wishing that maybe that will happen in Nigeria. Another section is saying that it will never happen. And because of the state of Nigeria today, if a military coup happen in Nigeria, of course, it will kind of accelerate the breakup of Nigeria. I believe that. Even though, like expected, right? A segment will be happy, a section won't. But what happened to civilian coup? Civilian coup is when people were told that they could choose their leaders based on the constitution. Then the moment for them to choose their leaders, some set of people who were supposed to be manning institutions to give credibility to that process, they got compromised. Okay? So your vote doesn't count anymore except those who are counting the votes. In Nigeria, it is not those who vote that matter, but those who count the votes. So which means the civilian coup is done in a way that, yeah, you may have a touch of military support, police support, and of course, the violent support of their thugs. But it's more or less like institutionalized that way. So when you do that and you subvert the will of the people, which has brought about so much division in Nigeria today, why is it different from a military coup? You don't vote for the military. Some section of people pick themselves, get some funding, and they go out there with their guns blazing, and they take the government and they declare themselves the rulers. And they appoint themselves as your rulers who will decide what and what. Is that not military? And what is the difference between what happened in Nigeria in 2023? The civilian coup. In case you have forgotten, I have said it before, with what Nigerians suffered under Buhari, as much as he felt like he was able to kind of tame them with fear, the fear was enormous. And when they were told that they could decide who would be their leaders, they went all out. To what? To choose one. Then the drama started from the INEC that was supposed to follow their own rule. They didn't. In the middle of the game, in an election conducted the same day, presidential, senate, and reps, the same guideline, the same rule, the same, what do you call that? 2022 Electoral Act, piece of paper with all their jargons written in it that they don't believe in, right? Electoral Act 2022. You did the election same day with the same rule, by the same people, with the expected same process. And when it goes to transmitting of result, nothing happened to that of senatorial, nothing happened to that of House of Representatives, National Assembly elections. But when it got to the presidential, suddenly something happened. That's a coup. It's called civilian coup. And for those who participated in it, from those who wrote the figures, to those who imputed them, and all of the whole thing they did with it is called coup. And what do you get from that? People you did not elect. Do you understand? I know that some of you voted for Koolu. Some of you are regretting it, okay? But the truth of the matter is that if they put all of you that indeed voted for Koolu, the number of you will never make him a regional president in anywhere. Not to talk of the president of Nigeria. That's the cocoa. Not that you didn't. Of course you did. Of course we saw that. But the issue is that Tinubu, APC, Egbekegbe, they never ever got what they got declared. And that's a coup. You did not elect them. And within a space of 2 months, you could tell if it was the government you elected, it must be people that got connected, you have connection with. They connected with you to some extent. That even if the system is so corrupt, they will never treat you the way these guys are treating you right now. No, they won't. Because number one, APC, Egbekegbe will never be the one in charge of Nigeria right now. And whoever did, at least for this first few months, before they start looting you and then maybe bombard, do whatever they wanted to do, these first 2 months, they will never treat you the way they have treated you so far. They treated you with so much disdain. They treated you with so much nonchalant attitude and like, just bear it now. Shebi, you know that we just came. Just bear it. Come on. What do you expect? And in that same vein, in that same breath, they were allocating billions upon billions to themselves. But to now figure out how they are going to cushion the effect of the economic effect of what they declared, that has become a rocket science. Seriously. Can't you see that? There is disconnection. There will always be disconnection when you did not elect them. So legitimacy problem. Kamala Harris, the vice president of the United States of America, tweeted this afternoon, and I bet she did last night, but we saw that this morning, right? And she was talking about speaking with the president of Nigeria. Sorry, she didn't call her president of Nigeria. She said, I spoke with President Tinubu of Nigeria on the recent development in Niger Republic. They are talking about the coup. And they were asking Tinubu to do something. You know, he is the chairman of ECOWAS. Remember? So as the chairman of ECOWAS, Economic of West African States, all the West African countries, so they wanted him to call them and do something about Niger. You understand? And Bokwari himself has been said to be so worried that his retirement home, the place that he helped kind of a deep Nigeria in depth for, is on fire. All his friends who were building, who were naming streets after him, those sons who are collecting their roja from Nigeria, the supposed poorest country in the world. Do you know Nigeria is poorer than the Niger Republic? And if you go to Niger Republic, it'd be like Nasarawa. Sorry, my friends from Nasarawa, it's not your fault. I'm just using that. Or, sorry, Zamfara, rather, Zamfara. That is exactly what Niger Republic look like. But a section of it where some of the elites built for themselves. What's that place called? Is it called Niamey or something? Their capital. If you go there, you will think you are in one local government in Ibadan. Somewhere like Ibarapa local government area of Ibadan. So it's the corruption in that place is so similar to the same corruption you have in northern Nigeria. It is like a Rankadede thing. Development is, of course, some people tell you, but Niger Republic have lights. Have you seen the Nigerians themselves? So the elite were living the life of Emiratis. The Emiratis like the Saudis, who are like royals. royals. That's how they live. So the poverty in that place, you can actually meet it in person. The kind of poverty they have in Niger Republic, courtesy of the ruling class. Niger Republic is also very rich in lithium, that mineral resources they use in making your batteries, your car battery and the rest. Lithium and others. So the corruption is kind of so similar, where people are subjected to that life of the serfs and the masters. Do you understand? So, Kamala Harris spoke with Tinubu to do something and trust Nigerians. They didn't wait for it to cool down. Kamala, is that how you got elected? How dare you say you are speaking to illegitimate president? Person will not get legitimacy. What you want to do for Niger? Like, were you serious? Are you being for real? Like, people sharp or bad that. But this morning, Koolu has now called the meeting of ECOWAS. They're talking about the gerontocrats, the corrupt kind of leaders from all these West African countries to come around. What are they going to do? They are meeting in Abuja to discuss the coup in Niger. And what people are asking is that, where was ECOWAS with the coup that happened in Nigeria? And you know something about these kind of coups from from experience, or should I say from researches, right? Military coup, they usually come with this kind of false patriotism message, and then kind of always pretend that they have military discipline, professionalism. Sure, you get, like, they are so disciplined and strict, so they want things done in a military way. They don't want corruption. They don't want people, that kind of mentality. Like, they are so disciplined. If they want to steal as well, that they are so disciplined with their stealing and all that kind of. And you will know, oh, this is military. They don't take any nonsense. You have to, you have to follow the order. Military, blah, 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 blah. That's nonsense, by the way. But at least you have that kind of, expectation of the military. Say, oh, they are professionals. Military are disciplined. Military are blah, blah, blah. Anyway, civilians, they are those who are like carefree, the larger than life people, those who kind of want the land they watch, or sorry, the ground that they walk on. They want you to worship the ground they walk on. Kind of, they want to come and show power. So they lack discipline. When they want to loot, when they want to do anything, they do them like, I'm the governor, I am the president, that kind of a thing like that. So they believe that civilians are more reckless, especially in Africa, and in particular, the West Africa. Sure, you get. Of course, you have seen the military that they are more reckless in their own looting because they have probably just one single training to defend the country. They have no training in any other thing other than how are they going to make their own money too. But the reckless thing about the civilian coup is that it gives you the sense of false sense of hope. Sorry, false sense of belonging. Sure, you get, like, you are a member of political parties. Of course, you have political candidates for different positions that you support. So you are participating. You registered to vote. You are campaigning, supporting your own candidate and all of that. Well, election came. You participated, you voted. So people were declared winner. The losers were declared losers. And here you are. So it gives you the kind of belief that you are part of it. A way that sometimes when you start feeling like, why are they doing all of this? You feel powerless because you feel like you encouraged it. You gave them that power. Sure, So, and because of that, you always kind of believe that when it is next time, we'll just remove them. I'm not going to vote for him again. Forget it. I'm done. I'm not supporting him again. So that is what their fake democracy in Africa, false sense of participation, false sense of belonging. So when military come, you are kind of a little bit, I felt like, oh no, military. Nobody supported, nobody shake, you know. But when it comes to the civilian criminals, you make it look like, I mean, you know, people always collect money. People collect money to vote for them, this and that. So meanwhile, the old facade, the old charade behind the scene, the old fraud behind the scene, where they are setting the, you know, who is going to be who and who is going to be what. Because you are participating, you are going to be totally blindsided or blindsided. Here you get. That's how they work. So at the end of the day, you begin to ask yourself, why are they like this? Maybe we did the campaign. They said they will do this. They said they will do that. How come they are not doing it? Why are they so cold? Why are they doing this? Because you did not elect them. They just gave you false sense of participation to make you feel like now you they elect them. In places where they couldn't control it anymore, where they've lost it completely. Then, you know, the moment they are fixing, writing, manipulating, they will now get to your attention. You can no longer be blindsided anymore. Because right now, you are now interested. Your participation is more deeper. And being that deeper is what has brought about what you have in Nigeria today, where a lot of people are now interested in how people emerge to represent them and the rest of that. When they now discover that they didn't vote for majority of them, they saw how they got fenced out by the system. They saw how they got sort of a disenfranchised by the system. Where people registered, they couldn't get their voters card. But their voters card were being discovered inside their drainages, gutters, dump sites, soak away everywhere. And you were asking, how did they get out of the INEC facility? And they got dumped somewhere. And the people, the owners, couldn't see them. You were asking yourself, that's called, systemic rigging. Here you get. So you started seeing that, oh my God, we didn't vote for him. Oh no. They lost in my own place. Oh, hey, they lost here. Oh, how did they declare that person? Now you are now interested. To the point that you can see the fraud fully. And that is why you have what you have in Nigeria today. That months after they declared Koolu, a lot of you can't just accept it. It's not possible. You didn't do this. No, you did not. And there are many across Nigeria like that you did not vote for them. As horrible as their election is, all right, you still did not vote for them, but they declared them anyway. So you are not happy. You feel cheated. You feel robbed. Abi? At this point, you don't even want the government. That's the feeling that people should normally feel when the military strike out the civilian government that you voted for. You get angry. You fight them. So in Niger Republic, you know what they are doing? They were beating their politicians. They were hunting for them everywhere. Yeah, hunting for them. Even though the rest of Africa, all these ECOWAS corrupt criminals. I'm not saying Niger generals, they are better. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to let you see that what they call democracy in Africa, especially in West Africa, it is the direct, it's what you call the subversion of the will of the people in a way without using gun. It's also coup. A lot of them were not elected. A lot of them. So how could you now call people that were not legitimately elected those who are so corrupt in their countries that a lot of their people will actually see them gone, if they can be gone, far, far away from that power? In Africa, how could you now call them to come in and, condemn what is going on in Niger Republic, when in fact, the Nigerians themselves, they are happy enough that they are hunting their politicians and beating them. I can show you some of the videos. They are graphic.
Just so you know that when people get so frustrated so much, like what you are facing in Nigeria, any help at all, anyone at all, can sometimes, it can be momentary, like a temporary, it will show to you that when people have that kind of chance, they don't miss. In Niger Republic, beating them up like wherever they see them, stoning them. And they are kind of doing their own rally in their country right now. That the military has managed to help them kick out the kleptocrats, the kleptomaniacs parading themselves as leaders. There are also, of course, you see propaganda now. Propaganda like the president of Niger Republic wants to stop France from taking their gold and their whatever. And that is why they send another. No. The whole truth, see, 2, 3 truth can coexist. Here you get. 1, 2, 3, 4 truth can coexist together. If France is taking the mineral resources of Niger Republic and all their wealth, and their criminal democratic leaders are just there to take their share, enough to the point that their people have become so poor, very poor, only for you to now start singing that, oh, they are removing me from power because I want to stop, show evidence, or else you go explain tire, no evidence. The real evidence on the street is that even with the little you have, una life are far, like times 10,000 better than the people that gave you the power. And that's what you have in Nigeria too. I know some of you can't wait. If something happen, maybe in a revolution or maybe in a military coup, anything, before you go after some of those politicians, even though you currently feel like they are so protected, but you can't wait. Some of you have seen some of the videos. A woman, they say she's a politician. One of the, she's not just politician, one of the public officials, elected officials or so, or more. A woman. I shared the video. Like few hours later, I was like, no, come on, this is so sad. They beat her, they stoned her. People came to rescue her. She fell and all of that because she was trying to, they said, they were hunting them everywhere. I went on to delete it and I was like, no, I'm not going to share that. But some of you have seen them on so many other places. So they are meeting in Abuja. I'm talking about the hardship. A lot of propaganda are also being shared in order to make you think whatever you are going through, it is going to be temporary. No, it's not temporary. Listen to me very well. I don't know how old you are. If you are watching me from Nigeria, look at me very, very, very well. Okay? I have lived long enough to be very honest with you on this particular one. Okay? Nothing goes up in Nigeria that ever comes down. The declaration that that's sort of a jacked up your cost of living today in Nigeria. That it wasn't an accident. It wasn't something that happened by coincidence. They knew it was going to happen and they planned nothing towards it. They waited for your reaction and they found that it seems that you are still very much on probably the last dosage of Boko Haram's trauma on you for 8 years. You can't you can't protest. Okay? You can't do all that. You are so tired, weak, disoriented, and all that thing. That is the impression. So they went along with it anyway. Then they came back to come and explain to you what they are going to do. Why you are still going through that hardship every day. You are reading about things they want to do, but none of them has ever actually come around to, to simmer things down. No. So I have lived long enough to know this. When it goes up, it stays up. And let me explain staying up. Okay? As it is right now, when they remove your subsidy And as it, it is already affecting everything, your everyday life, including even your other, your main expenses like education for your children, your own health care, and so many other things that really matter in your life. They have all been affected now. A lot of you have resorted into trekking long distances, not even considering what your health conditions are because you don't even know. But the economic situation is forcing a lot of you to make a lot of adjustments that are not really human or humane. However, when they will pretend that your situation is going to get better, let me give you an example of what they will do. Currently, your liter of petrol, how much is it? 610 naira or 700. By the middle of August, that is going to get over, maybe before the end of August, it's going to get over 800 naira, 850 naira per liter, right? Now, around that time, they were hoping that they would have amassed enough kind of, dollars or money that they can then say, you know what? We're just going to pay the subsidy. Do you understand that? And that will be you back on that threshold, but you will never be back to 165 naira per liter again, ever. You will never go back to that. So when they start paying the subsidy, which is going to be what they are going to do, when they start paying it again, they will say, oh, a liter of petrol has now come down to 600 naira or 550 naira. Now remember, this is still pretty much like a 300% increase to what you used to pay, right? When they say they remove the subsidy, but they will return it. But when they will return it, they will pretend that they are returning it slowly so that they cut the price, but it will stay there. And that's how everything else will stay. Okay? They are already saying they are adding 10,000 naira to the salaries of estate workers. Others are being encouraged to add 10,000 naira and me probably give 10,000 naira as a palliative to the poorest in your local government and the rest of that. All of these are going to be temporary drama until you are used to where they want to put you and you stay there. I don't know how it's going to be for you then. Maybe your minimum wage will be increased to 45,000 or 50,000 naira. They are saying they want to increase your, muting. They want to increase your minimum wage to what? 200,000 naira. It's not going to happen. Do you understand? Already, some of the states are already paying extra 10,000 to make it 40,000 naira. That's the palliative they are promising you. 10,000 naira for those who have jobs, okay? Then the federal government will say, we have also increased the minimum wage to 50,000. That's them as saying they are adding 20,000 naira to your salary. And guess what? By the time this whole thing comes down, you realize that the devalued naira, no matter how much, even if they increase your minimum wage from what it is right now to 500,000 naira, they are just putting more trashy paper in your pocket and putting some bogus number on your screen, the screen of your phone app or bank app. The worth of that money with what they are doing will continue to make it 500,000 will continue to look like 50,000 naira. And they don't even have a plan of giving you that much. That's what actually makes it even worse. So everybody will stay there. More people are going to delve into poverty. More businesses are going to fold up. Okay? But these guys, they're going to spend more money on propaganda. Like, you're going to leave and sit down and be like, are they talking about Nigeria? However, those who knows that when it comes to what Nigeria has entered, is more than one chance, whatever you want to call it. Okay? They are already booking their space on the table. Okay? And from my own experience, a lot of you probably have no idea how bad it is going to get. You have no idea. Prayers will not stop it. Do you understand? Propaganda will not change it. These guys and what they will do, every one of them, in the space of a year or two, it will be very bad. And it is not about wishing it on you. I can tell. So, APC, Egbekegbe, their youth wing. A week ago, if I could recall correctly, it was the women, led by their woman leader, Betty Edu, to go and praise Koolu inside the Old Rock Villa, where they told him, people are so happy with Tinubu's policies. They are so happy that he is doing what he is doing, and the women support him. After that meeting, Betty Edu gave all the women, every one of them, $1,000 cash for lunch. I shared the video on this platform for those who remember. Yeah? So immediately after that, when Koolu will release the first batch of his Alibaba and 40 thieves, he released the first 28 invited thieves, Alibaba and 28. And on this list, he has 7 women, 21 men. And if you use religion as well, you will say he has 14 Christians, 14 Muslims. But in all these, Betty Edu became one of the first batch of Tinubu's, what do you call it, Tinubu's 40 thieves. So yesterday, Dayo Isreal, the Commander General of Jagabandit Army, led the Jagabandit Army to go and meet Jagabandit himself. And as expected, I mean, ass licking, ass kissing, crumb chasing, you know what I mean? Which is, I believe, which are the real criteria of being a member of APC. Then live in denial too. Dayo was inside the Old Rock. And I'm going to take you there. For the record, these short clips, the credit for them goes to the channel's television. So if you really want to see the full show, go on to channel's televisions on YouTube. You'll be able to watch the whole thing if you are interested. But I have picked where I think we can use, and we'll give them the credit for that. All right? So, and thank you. So Dayo Isreal, ladies and gentlemen, telling Koolu how amazing he has been. And for those who are complaining, you all should go and wait for 2031, because they are already waiting to work for him for 2027, second term. Ladies and gentlemen, before I show you what Koolu said, let's kind of take this clown a bit, as a break. Again, I am not promising you anything reasonable from his mouth. I am not expecting you to sit down and be expecting anything sensible from him. If you don't want to be disappointed, just a kind of a break, okay? Dayo Isreal.
A man of result, a man of impact. By investing in yourself and investing in people for over 30 years. And so it was easy for us to go out there to market you to the Nigerian people during the last election because of the investment that you have also made before time. And to congratulate you that we were not let down, and to thank God on your behalf for the victory that we had in that election. It wasn't a rosy one. There were challenges. We were ostracized. We lost friends. We lost family members. We were abused. We were attacked. We were called names. I have a youth leader here from Gombe State that was shot in his community on election day because the opposition wanted to rig and he was trying to defend our vote. We all paid prices, both as state youth leaders, zonals, and even as youth stakeholders of the party in various support groups, including the PCC Youth Wing. And we thank the Almighty God that today we are all here to celebrate that we have been able, as youth of this party, to produce a president and commander-in-chief of Nigeria. I think it's worth celebrating. Mr. President, we also want to come to say a big thank you for what you have begun to do. They have called you Baba Go Fast for the remarkable impact that you have made from your swearing in, first announcing that subsidy is gone and putting Nigeria on the trajectory of progress and making tough decisions, which is what leadership is all about. If only the decisions that you have made in the last 60 days thereabout have been made in the last 60 years of our independence, Nigeria will be a better country than what it is today. The student loan that you have introduced in your first month in office, the food security initiative that you announced last week, the deregulation of the forex sector, which is now being
Shibi, I told you that you shouldn't expect anything like, I don't know that you are now calling Koolu Baba Go Fast. Wow. So some of you have been lying to us that things are hard. So you're actually happy with Koolu. That's what Dayo Isreal, was telling him last night. Here is another one.
There are some have called it different names, but it's strictly deregulating the financial sector and forex. The impact, although is on a long term, but it is a decision that we believe will put Nigeria on the trajectory of change and progress and will help our country to rise to a level that we can be proud of. We want to thank you for your boldness and your courage. There's no doubt that is why you are called the Lion of Bodilon, because you fear nothing or no one when it comes to doing the right thing for the Nigerian people. Your Excellency, we also want to thank you for carrying along some of our young people, including my brother and friend, Mr. Segun Dada, who is privileged to now be on your team here at the Villa. Segun has worked tirelessly for our party over the last 6-7 years from the Buhari administration, and it's a thing of joy to now have him here at the Villa working directly with the president that he joined and to produce. I want to thank you today for the appointment of my sister and my colleague on the NWC, Betta Edu, who has now been named Minister Designate, and Iman, two young women, young people who have been appointed as ministers in this Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think it's something we should be proud of. For those who don't know, Betta is under 40. And so it's a thing of joy for us. She's just above 35. So by all rights, she's a young person herself. And to have a 36-year-old lady as a minister in Nigeria today, we are very grateful, Mr. President. Mr. President, I also want to use the opportunity to thank who I will call the honorary youth leader, my brother, my childhood friend. Remember us playing together on the lawn of Marina, went to America, went to England, we kept in touch, and destiny brought us back together again, working together.
Dayo Isreal. He is also a pastor, by the way, a Redeemed Church pastor, just for, here you get for clarity. He's a pastor. And this is the interesting part, where, according to him, by the time you get to 2027, you will be begging Koolu to go again, and they will be ready to do it again. That's the part I'll show you.
And say, but we did this back for you, and we did this back for you. As I wrap up, sir, I also want to note that there are interventions and palliatives being introduced to ensure that the impact of this fuel subsidy is mitigated.
We would also like to have young people across the country at the various levels of implementation, including some of our youths as focal persons in each of the states. We have the young people who have capacity, who have experience, who have the prerequisite qualification, and they will do very well. Just tell us what you need. We will bring the CV to you. Mr. President, in the manifesto, we promised young people the Presidential Youth Advisory Council. We would like to work with the Chief of Staff and with your office to sit together and look at how we can implement that and ensure that we have a very robust, representative Presidential Youth Advisory Council that carries everyone along, not just the technocrats, but also the young people who went to the nooks and crannies to fight for our party in the last election. Mr. President, finally we note that our young people form about 75% of our population. There are over 7,000 appointments in government, either boards, parastatals, agencies, and many other things across. We, as the youth of the party, are requesting that you kindly, as you begin to fill those positions, consider at least 15%. We're not going to be like the women asking for 35. At least 15%. And when we say young people, in particular the youth of the party, who are card carrying.
Dayo Isreal was pretty much pleading that they should be rewarded with appointments, okay, as a show that the government cares about the youth. If they want to share the grains in Nigeria, listen, Mr. President, you don't really need the NEMA, all right? We, the youths, we can do it. I can bring you a lot of people that can walk around the country. Give us that job. You also have over 7,000 positions, board, everything, Give us some of them too, so that by 2027,
our card carrying members, so that in 2027, they can go back and proudly mobilize additional votes for us for your second term. I want to thank you, Daddy, again for seeing us, for carrying us along. We know and we are assuring Nigerians who are calling us every day that fuel is now 617 naira. We tell them it will always get very tight before it gets better. We trust and we have full confidence in the man on the steering. We know that he has the full intention to ensure that Nigeria is on the path of greatness. He's not after Nigeria's resources. He knows what to do, but he needs to ensure that it takes a decision that will give us long-term benefit and make Nigeria like America and put an end to Jackpot syndrome. Thank you, Daddy. God bless you. Our card-carrying members.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo.
His message is clearer now, isn't it? You need to give us something, compensate us, so that by 2027, we can go back and tell people to mobilize for you and all that, which is what they do anyway. We call them political jobbers. A lot of them, young people like that, okay, in APC, in PDP, they are like practically, they are jobless per se. You see, this politics is career for them, which is all right if it was for good thing. It was pretty much for survivor, so to say, survivor. Appointment, slots, projects, any contracts, all these are what they are chasing. A lot of them want to be appointed into political offices. They want to become SAs, PAs. And because of this, as what they choose, they decided to make themselves available to mislead the rest of young people that probably have no clue or no idea. So when these whole lies and all that are done, so they kind of hang on to get appointment because people are going to be going to them. A lot of people are begging them for money. So they have no job, no means of anything. They need government money. So give us appointments so that we can take care of people who are also begging us for money. Party members that are saying that they are hungry, give us something so that we can be able to give them some, that's what they do. I have seen them up close. I can tell you this for free. And it's not bad when you say if it was actually for something good, but it was actually so bad because it is for their own selfish thing. That's why they lied to you. They lied to you. And he's still lying there. They are Koolu. Okay, people are calling him that the petrol is now 617. That and he was telling them, the man in charge, Koolu, he knows what he's doing. He's going to first tight before everything comes back. And I think he just gave Koolu the talking point. And from that point, Koolu picked it from. You will need to persevere more. Or maybe I should tell the microfinance banks to start giving you loans. And all of that bala blue nonsense. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the credit for this video also goes to the channel's television as well, in part, because, if you want to see the full show on it, or full video, go on to channel's YouTube page, okay? You'll be able to see everything there, right? But partly here, Koolu responding, and in fact, sending his own direct message to the rest of you. You need to wait a little bit more, okay? And we are doing everything. I want to promise you one thing again. Or should I say, I want to warn you. This clip is about 6-7 minutes long, okay? And I promise that, please, don't get angry, don't get mad. And don't look forward to listening or hearing anything reasonable, okay? Just call it a pastime. I don't know, right? Koolu.
I am greatly honored and grateful to all the youths across the country, represented by you, the good and energetic members of our party. I want to say thank you very much for all the work you've done and you've been doing and you are still going to embark upon for our great party. I thank all the youths and the young women who are part and parcel of our struggle to bring prosperity to the country. It has been a very serious journey. God answered our prayer. He gave us this victory and honor to be here. I want to say thank you once again for all the work. To all of you, I made my pledge to the country that no decision will be difficult for the good and prosperity and unity of our country. I still stand by that pledge. So thank you, the leadership, both men and women, for the understanding that to reform is not going to be easy. But it's for your future. We can only be sure of today. But cast your mind back to your childhood. Once upon a time, you took baby steps to grow up, to become adult. And what you are today is a pride to all of us. Thank you. Plead the understanding that economic reform very slow in some time. I can assure you that I understand your pains and the pains of your uncles, brothers, and your moms. I understand. I feel it. It is not easy to get out a monster of over 40 years that is called subsidy. For few leaders, elites, fleecing Nigeria is not acceptable and will never be acceptable to us all. You've endured. You just need to persevere a little bit more. It's not going to be easy to make the changes necessary. But what we are going through today is saving for greatness tomorrow. Things that we cannot afford, we cannot engage in. We can't afford the subsidy. It is clear. It's meant for just a few elites. It's not beneficial to the generality and the greatest number of the people in this country. Sovereign, I'm ready.
Must be mass action. I continue to say people must come out to the streets. You see, one thing about Nigeria is the moment they see the police and the army, they run away. And that's because most of the people who come out actually are not poor people. They are rich men or rich men's children who want to enjoy themselves. The day the poor hit the streets, then all of us will be on the run.
All of you will be on the run?
Yeah, including you, you're already on the run, so you're in America here.
Yeah, you're right. But seriously, are there times that when the elites, the people in political power in Nigeria, the rich people, which you all meet all the time, are there times that you're afraid?
Always delay. I'm going to fix that. Sorry about that, okay? I've got this audio that's always delayed, but I'm going to say this quickly, and then I'm going to give you the other part of Koolu's part, okay? A lot of you have gotten to a stage. I mean, is it not too early for now to be kind of turning off your TV whenever Koolu comes on your screen? I know a lot of people were doing that during the time of Bokwari. Some said that their children get sort of a fright when they see Bokwari on TV, which is so unusual. Like, how could children get a fright since a man on TV? And that was Bokwari. I've seen that. So the moment I brought Koolu on, immediately I want to go to the gent. I want to go and get my breakfast. I mean, my dinner. I think I'm gonna just go and put something on fire. I'll come back in 8 minutes. Has it gotten that bad? Like you don't want to see him, or you just? I said, listen to him for a comic relief. I have been talking all this while. Yeah. I just want you to kind of just listen to him. Don't leave the program and go to the gents or go to the ladies or go to the kitchen or sometimes quickly go and do a shop run. Abba. What's it bad to any? Is it that bad? I'm sorry. Okay. You're going to have to endure another 5 minutes. I mean, he said he's going to give loan to the youth. Here you get Microfinance Bank. You can walk into Microfinance Bank. Once Koolu tell them to give you loan, would you want to see? Okay, because you already know he's a liar, Abi.
It's absolutely nothing, Abi. Okay. I'm going to plead with you to listen to this part. Don't go anywhere. Just stay back. I'll make sure that it's quicker and faster, right? Just for the record, right? Thank you.
On pandemic alone, is enough for recovery. But you're been through the currency conservation, and they call it swap. What is that? During an election time. Multiple exchange rate windows is for the arbitrage. It's for few to make quick wins over you, to make money for themselves, not for you. I could have chosen to partake in the benefit of round tripping and exchange rate. But I refuse it. God forbid. The fleecing of multi-billion dollars. What is the level of our reserve today? Where is accountability and transparency in all of that? We need just to persevere. Those days are gone, and I'm not going to lead you to go back into them for time and electoral. I want to say thank you. I've listened to you. I've heard what you say. We have no time today. Plan another trip that we'll get back together. I'm dealing with ECOWAS and interference in our democratic process in Niger. Equally, talking to the American and Europe on bilateral basis, we can share together to foster and promote democracy. Just hold it tight. Your struggle will not be in vain.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please, forget it. I don't read social media anymore.
Doesn't anymore. Is Lloyd. Do you know that I had to kind of highlight your comments? Because the moment I saw that comment, I just started laughing here like, oh my God. When you said, yeah, this is it. Okay, this is it. I'm unsubscribing. That is, I'm no longer following my ego. I'm done. Like, no, this is me.
I'm done. Like, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, how many people felt like that? Like, what is wrong with this Mayegun? He said, stop playing this man. Okay, this is it. I'm done. I'm no longer on Mayegun's diary political because of Koolu. No, you are not done. You will be back. Trust me, you will. Koolu is lamenting about all the rot left by Bokuwari, but he's not bold enough to mention his name. He's talking about round tripping. He's talking about subsidy money. All of this. Of course, we have heard. Everybody don't hear him. What are you doing after you have now done this? What? Tell them, what are you doing? Nothing. I remember when Bokuwari will be telling you that, you know, that time, that Dasuki time, any small thing, they stole all the money. Yeah, you want me to look away? All of them are taking all this one, get money, this one took money, that one took billions. All of them took money. It was like people took money. That was why things were hard when Bokuwari first started too. But this one no get sense, you know, if you mention names. People have heard this again and again and again. Here you get subsidy. Okay, you don't want multiple forex, Abi, foreign exchange. Oh yeah, what are you doing about it? What have you done about it? You don't want people who are collecting billions from subsidy. What have you done to replace that? And how many of them have you arrested for that crime? 0. And he kept saying that, you know, most I will say, I could have joined them. I don't know if all of you have paid. That's why I said, listen, even though you don't want to. He's a demented man, here you get. And once in a while, from all the balabulu, the nonsense he's talking, right? You got to pick some intel from them. Maybe it's just me, Sha. For somebody like me, I picked intel, and I want to share that with you. Every time when Koolu is talking about round tripping is when they do a deal behind the scene with central bank, where those of you want to change dollars, they will change dollars for you at a certain price. But if you belong to the cabal, enjoying the round tripping, they can give you millions and millions of dollars with exchange rate of maybe 40 naira to $1. Where you are paying 500 naira to $1, they will be paying 40 naira to $1. Where you are, sourcing for dollars for your business, they will have them handed to them. They don't even have to pay money before they get the money. They can only come and pay back the money when they have exchanged the money and make their own money. It's called round tripping. This was what Emefiole started under Bokuwari, where Bokuwari's families, and some of these, what do they call them? CPC members of APC, Egbekegbe, Malamu and gang, Kiyari and Koolu, they were enjoying that, you know, including some emirs in northern Nigeria. Emefiole was boxing dollars, millions of dollars. He was boxing them to, he was handing them to these guys who were now reselling them to the Bureau de Change in Nigeria. It happened, you remember? So every time Koolu will be like, God forbid, I don't want to I could have participated, which means I could have just enjoyed my own court. Here you get. But I didn't. So I want to, okay, what have you done? I want to, I have stopped that. Now, I want to make sure that the exchange rate is not many. You know, that's what he said there. Then he says subsidy. Multi-billion dollars are paid to some people. That he could also have participated in it as president. Like, this is the president of Nigeria. That's why I said that, you know, he's demented, of course, but at the same time, he can always drop intel when he's doing his balabulu. You just don't, some of you are so impatient. You need to exercise some patience, if you want to understand these guys well, or else people could just cook things up for you that you'll be feeding on and they are just like trash that doesn't really tally. Listen to them. They do drop intel in their utterances. You can pick them with other pieces of information you have, join them together. You get a projection. Very easy. That's what I do. So does that mean that Bokuwari was also taking his court? Being the petroleum minister, Bokuwari appointed ministers. He didn't appoint petroleum minister. He made himself minister of petroleum. So under him, 700,000 barrels of crude oil of Nigeria was being stolen every day for over 6 years. running into over 180 billion US dollars in today's value. So, also, the payment for subsidy jumped from 800 billion a year to over 4 trillion naira a year, and nobody knows who they were paying the money to, even though Nigerians are now paying more for petrol under him. Does that mean that Bokwari actually was collecting his own rubber, or they were keeping his rubber for him as president, and he just allowed that to go on until the last day? So when Koolu said he could have participated, is that something lucrative that nobody can do? It's a scam. Subsidy is such a fraud that nobody can participate or do or perpetuate without the blessing of the president of Nigeria. Isn't that an intel? I'm just saying, isn't? That should be an intel, right? That something is deeper. If you have journalists in Nigeria who can dig deeper, they can possibly get who is taking the money, proxy money from subsidy, and who are collecting their share. Where are they going to? And they'll trace some of them to Bokwari and his family too. So do you see that back-end robbery? So when Koolu said, I could have participated, I could have joined them, but God forbid. Really? Are you sure God forbid for you? Oh, okay. Anyway, I don't want to say too much so that I don't let you miss the plot. Do you get what I'm trying to get at, right? That when Koolu said that, he's lamenting, complaining. Then he told you to be patient. Because for now, waiting you they see now baby walk like this.
Nigeria will see positive changes as we move along. Just go through these baby steps of pain.
You know, baby step of pain, rather. Sorry about that delay. It is still that audio. They make me appear like clown, Abby. I ain't no sound though. You are just talking. We don't hear you. I know. I'm gonna get myself a new laptop. Probably. Yeah, another window. So this one seems to be so overloaded, I would say. I'm sorry. You just can never be too sure of all these electronics and all of this technology and gadgets. They are just gadgets. Anyway, going forward, Koolu that is lamenting is also saying that, you know what, you would have to endure this for a while. And then everything will be fine. Mayegu is telling you that there is nothing called temporary. The shop is undergoing a sort of reshuffle. So the moment they have all of their people in place, yes, you'll be back. But you won't be back to the old price or that old one that, you will never be back to that one. You just have to get used to this one. And by the time they get to September, when they will make a request for that their 10 trillion naira loan, 10 billion naira loan, and it's going to come in parts, then you begin to see the real target, which is your purse and your wallet, your pocket. At the end of the day, create wealth. No, that's too much. That's not their thing. All right? I mean, somebody said, when you get all their ministers, his minister designates, that they should ask them to explain how they are going to help Koolu to improve on revenue generation without increasing tax, and at the same time, how they are going to recover Nigeria economy, okay, that at least over 140 million of them who are living in extreme poverty right now can at least have half of them out. How can you get out of, half of Nigerians who are living in extreme poverty right now, how do you get them out of that poverty? What are the plans? What are this and that? They should ask them, but no, they will tell them to take a bow. One of them already said, he never lobbied for it, so he wasn't planning to be minister, hopefully, and but he's been nominated. Devulumai of Ebonyi. Ladies and gentlemen.
governor. Where are the senators? Yeah, the governor of Ebonyi State, Chief Francis.
The choice of me is entirely, that of the president, because my governor had once suggested that during one of our meetings in Abuja before the inauguration of the Senate. And I said to him, no, that I want to rest. I have overworked myself. He reported me to one of our friends, and till today I've not been able to convince our friends. So, but this one is done by Mr. President, and I'm sure the governor is very happy because that's what he wanted. There are three people that he wanted, he made promise to, and I supported the promise at the trial time, at the time of struggle. I'm sure I will work with him to ensure that the promises himself as the governor and myself as the then governor made will not fall down to the ground. I want to assure those people. And we will still go as Ebonyi people to thank Mr. President very, very highly. I don't know which ministry, but will we justify, why we are called Ebonyi people, very exceptional people, people of character and content, like my governor said. And so you must join me to thank God Almighty and thank Mr. President. We never saw one-on-one for this to be done. So I think the spirit of this young governor is very much alive.
Excellency, we have so much missed you, and we are happy that you are here. I want to say congratulations. Now, when you were the governor, you did so well in construction.
That was Devolumai. It was promised that he was going to be the anointed, in fact, it was going to be the anointed presidential candidate of Bukwari from Igbo land. That was when they were selling the bobo that Igbos will succeed Bukwari, the first Igbo president. Devolumai, the guy overworked, like he overworked more than the devil to prove all of that. But at the last minute, when they finally shoveled all their games and all of that, and it got shoved aside, he just took the slot to go and, like, he said he wanted to go and rest. No, he was going to be the Senate. He became a senator. Sure, you get, so as a former governor, their retirement home is usually the Senate. So he got that, and he got himself back there. Then he got called. Come and be minister then. Mr. President, I cannot reject this. I was just going to go and get some rest in the Senate. Well, maybe that is why they call us wonderful people. Akwa Ibom people. We are Ebonyi people. We are wonderful people. Okay. We will come and we will go and thank him for saying I shouldn't rest and be a minister. As for this madam, na rakakakakaka de lenuli, would be thief.
Worship you, Jesus. I give you all the praise. I give you all the glory. In the name of Jesus.
I'm sorry, don't take offense. If you are to be offended, now that woman you're supposed to get angry with. Politician, no. Are you there? They are already saying that she's from Delta State, by the way, right? They already said that she forged this, she forged that. I was like, that's not new. Forgery is not new. You're talking about Escobar. Minister of the Federal Republic. Ẹ̀yin lẹ ṣe yìí o. Ayérayé Ọlọ́run ìyanu. ẹ̀yin lẹ ṣe yìí o lẹ́nu olè. Nobody calls God more than these thieves, these rogues and criminals. Nobody knows, like, you know, oh, she's so spiritual. She's lẹ́nu olè. Next Sunday, they will go to church to go and do Thanksgiving. Ijó ọpẹ́ rẹ̀ dà, ijó ọpẹ́ mi rèé. Ìbàdí ọpẹ́ rẹ̀ dà, òun náà rèé. Gbogbo ara mi o, máa fi jó reggae fún baba. Like that. See, this woman is so lovely. Very, very hardworking church worker. Ole. That woman where they dance there, she bought 100 million naira presidential form during the time they were doing APC bazaar. She was running to be a president, by the way. 100 million. Along about 100 million naira. Bam. Somebody said that my ego poverty is not good. See how you are shouting 100 million. How much is 100 million? You see what they cost? Politicians who cannot tell you how they made their money other than from what they stole from you. Then they turn around and say, do you know the position she's held? She was the former director of Kinikon. He is the director of Kinikon. Do you know what they make there? She was in NDDC. Holy. 100 million. Bam. On the day of the convention, she stepped down for Koolu. Now she's rewarded with a ministerial post, and what do you get?
Worship you, Jesus. I give you all the praise. I give you all the glory. In the name of Jesus.
You know how it be? She's watching the Senate Akpabiole reading names. When they mention her name, she enters trance. Holy Ghost, thank you. So Holy Ghost supports a drug dealer. Is that what you are saying? In this temple of truth, we don't get Holy Ghost. We don't even get any ghost. The only existing thing here is truth. I tell you, truth don't support drug dealing. No. Truth don't support criminals. So. And I don't see anywhere inside the Bible or the Quran where you are told that all these spirits and this, they supported the drug dealers. So, only running, only. And I told you, this is why I don't believe in you allowing them to manipulate you with your religion. And so, I know that woman one-on-one. She's a very godly woman. She's a very godly woman. Anyway, somebody said, Ọlọ́run kú sùúrù. God is so patient. You know, that kind of patient that, the kind of a patient that you have to be like, oh, more, this one are extreme. So this is one way they do kaka. If I say, me the kaka or kakaba me kason straight, meaning kakako kaku sibe yense, like something like that. They don't go say God is very wicked. That's why they say God is very patient. And if you go and see the kind of, it can't be like say God kind of, this is not blasphemy. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad, because all of now will be soldier of God. All of now will be say small time now, una go come out cloth, wear basket, and begin the quote. I'm not asking you to come and fight me, because I know say you will not get muscle to fight for God. Sure you get. But that tiny one to fight for yourself, no day. So I'm not coming at you. Don't come at me. But if you look at the Old Testament God, that one, Daju Gidigon, like old Okalagon, they call it a God of jealousy. He is so jealous. You do anyhow, you see anyhow. That was the God of Old Testament. Go and read it. Any small thing like this, says somebody small thing like this, so a thunder if he just come from everywhere, just kill him. Say, what him do? Because he go touch the bum of his brother wife. He has sinned. Another person, if he just go, there was just a lion just come from anywhere. He just chop him. Say what him do? He go. I mean, pray this morning, or call God this morning, so God get angry and he sent lion to chop him. That was the kind of Old Testament God. You know that? He did jealous, but now the New Testament God, can't be like say that one don't change. You know, say God know they change. Like people believe God doesn't change. Now people they change. But if you look at that story, like can't they get mercy? Can't they pity? That God of New Testament can't they explain? They shalaye like, hey, I'm giving you the last chance. I'm even sending my son to save you. I care about you. Look at people where they do anyhow. For Sodom and Gomorrah, he turned them to salt. They take shit. Old Testament. When he got tired of all of them, he brought flood. He wiped everybody away. He said, make them save small. Now, those of us where they save, now we remain now. See what we can't do to the world. See what we have done to the world. If it was the God of Old Testament, me and you like this, everything gone. Now only survivors go remain for the next, maybe next century until they find right people and right people and right people. Sure you get? So that's why they say God is so patient. Look at all your politicians, the way they call God, the way they talk about God with their dark minds and dark deeds. They talk about this God as if to say they fear him and not. They don't fear anybody. God to call, God to need. They don't care. If to say they fear God, that time when lion they come from anywhere, they chop people. Or crocodile go come. You go see crocodile where they walk up for 2 legs. And go carry the other 2 legs up. They crawl, crocodile where they chase you. Tail properly curved. Chase you. Because now God send them. Say me chop you. Nowhere where you go. Nobody will save you. That kind of God, politicians won't be like this to you. But look at them. In another 2 months now, they begin to look into the ghost worker. How much we go make from ghost worker? What about the other contract? Who are those who should be coming to take this contract? How much is my own share? I'm the honorable minister. We need to come and take, honorable minister need to take something. You have to care for honorable minister. Honorable minister is coming around. Though. If you want honorable minister blessing, you need to do this. Then business as usual. You know what they say about Africans, ladies and gentlemen, about religion in politics? They say it's only, some said it's in Nigeria, only in Nigeria, but I'm going to say Africa. It's only in Africa where you are going to see government officials, politicians, they're going to call a meeting on how they want to fix their country or do something. And ladies and gentlemen, they will start the meeting with an opening prayer. Okay? It may start with a Bismillah, Islamic prayer. They will lie to themselves. They will cook on how to shortchange the people that put them there. They will do all of that within that time. When they finish their meeting, they will close it with closing prayer. Deacon Banwo, please, share us the grace. Give us the closing prayer. And Deacon Banwo will remove cap like a true Christian. One moment,
Okay, I think as an addendum to that, issues have been raised regarding the legal provision of uploading results, because that is the core of their complaint. So I don't think we would like to address that. We will not be here and and skip that. Yeah, we won't skip that. That is the crux of all the complaint going on. That results must be uploaded before they are announced at the collation center. So we don't want to run away from that issue. And I think it is incumbent on us to address that issue. Now, let me attempt to do this. I don't know, is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Your voice is loud enough.
Is it okay?
Your voice is loud enough.
Now, the conduct of elections, the counting of votes, and the declaration of results are regulated by three or four documents. One, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Two, the Electoral Act, which subsequently gives powers to INEC to make regulations for the conduct of those elections. And so you now have also the INEC regulations and guidelines. In that order, first, it is the Constitution that is supreme. In its supremacy, what the Constitution merely does in Schedule 3 is to establish INEC and gives INEC the general powers to conduct elections into all offices, at the federal level in Nigeria and the FCT. That is for the Constitution. Now, the Electoral Act, if you see, the Constitution now says that the ways by which INEC should conduct those elections should be regulated by an act of the National Assembly. That is what the Constitution says in Chapter 3, in Schedule 3. Now, that is what gave the National Assembly the powers to then make the Electoral Act. What does the Electoral Act say? Because I'm coming to this issue of IREV and uploading results. The Electoral Act, if you look at Section 60 of the Electoral Act, Section 60 clearly prescribes the mode by which results are entered step by step until the announcement of the result. In fact, the provisions begin from Section 45 all through to Section 68. Go and look at those provisions.
So tell me, you see that video you just watched? That was the press conference by for Food Kayode, fraudsters Otobokeyamo, the one that is talking is a lawyer, okay, on the 27th of February, right? This was 2 days after the charade election and just 4 days before Mahmoud Yakubu announced Tinubu. That was the threat that they made publicly, right? When they felt like the whole thing was no longer, the numbers are not numbering, they are not adding up. And immediately after that threat of that press conference, yeah, then Mahmoud Yakubu, who initially developed a code fit, and he was going to call for a sort of a runoff because there was no clear winner to him, sure you get. So he didn't do that. He just went on and announced Koolu and damned all the consequences. So tell me, if what I just told you right now, that you know that that's what happened, if now God of Old Testament, you go see they talk about Frostos Otobokeyamo now. She one maybe na unicorn go just come from heaven like that. Just enter that room, just grab for Food Kayode, grab Frostos Otobokeyamo, grab Dele Alakori, and just share the rest of the people we won't lie. The rest of them won't mount pressure. Just want to do that, yeah. Would they be able to do it? Ever no go pick race? I say, oh me, I know they again. No, we no see the Frostos for the past 4 days. So now unicorn carry we daily like all of them, they disappear. Then when I know say God no support waiting that they do. When God show Baba, everybody jackpot. That's what I mean, like, but God is patient for those who are religious. They say God is forgiving. God is kind of, considerate. He always gives people another chance. And that is why politicians in Nigeria would always get away with all of their criminality because of religion. The God of these days don't kind of. Anyway, that is that. I was going to just call it a night. I felt like I haven't heard from you in a while. So I'm going to take calls tonight. I know we are not so many, but thank you
to all of you who came around there tonight to come and hear about the new promise of loan for the youth that will never happen, and other things we've shared as well. So yeah, I will take calls, and the number is on your screen. But I have one very quick update to give us. To every one of us who kind of follows, right, the conversation around Mr. Lukman, a man that lost his 2 legs, to what we are yet to ascertain, and is still being alive, surprisingly or miraculously. Yoruba Union has taken over his care. Okay, so as you are watching this video, we've already had Mr. Lukman admitted into a very nice private hospital in Ilorin. The 2 people you see around, you see beside him, those are his family members who are the witness and the guarantor to what we are doing. So we have paid for his surgery. The other leg that really got rotten and it fell off, right, wasn't properly, right, medically amputated, and it's pretty much like infected, and that's dangerous. So we've paid for that surgery, and we expected that to, I haven't been updated, I'm sorry. It was meant to be done last night, and then, or this morning, okay? Princess is actually there. I haven't spoken to her, but I just thought I should add this before we take calls. So the union has taken over his care, and we are doing it very well. Other things we are doing is that we have package, which is like a scholarship, okay? Like full adoption for his children. I have to be so kind of honest with you. There are so many people who are really, really interested. On this program, we have a member of our union from the US who has already pledged that, among other things, they will put him on a kind of a lifetime, a long time monthly stipend, which is put at $100. Okay, so when you change that to Nigeria money, plus what the union has to add to it as well, boom, here you get. We can indeed be there for him longer than just what we are doing right now. We have people who want to adopt his children and quite, see them through schools up to university level in a very standard private institutions as well. Like, they are willing, they are lining up. But for now, we are dealing with his care, and at the same time, we are talking to his family on all the options before him when he's fully kind of all right to say yes or no to some of our other proposals. I'm going to give you the update on that. And I'm bringing the Yoruba Unionists onto my program on Sunday, this Sunday, okay? We are going to kind of have an insight into what we do and how we do them, and to say further thank you to all our sponsors, supporters, and all that. Thank you. So yeah, we are touching lives, and we still have more. I've got others I'm going to share with you, but we're going to get to that at some point. We'll just have a chat tonight, okay? Let me see. I'm going to go make myself another cup of tea, and when I get back, I'll start taking calls. But if you really have to go, it's okay, right? Just make sure that you like the broadcast and you share it before you go, and I will see you next time, okay? But for those who still want to be part of this, right? Sure, pick up your phone and you can call in. I will be back. Suwe. I have a caller. Hello there.
Hello, my ego, my brother, my darling.
Hello there, sister.
Our
How are you?
the whole world of Nigeria.com.
Thank you.
This zoology company. My ego, thank you so much. It's obvious you and your family are doing perfectly well, and I'm thankful to God for keeping you strong and also keeping your family.
Thank you so much.
Please. We can't be grateful enough for you, for what you're doing and what you will continue to be doing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm saying that on behalf of each and every one of us here.
Thank you so much, Chichi.
Yes, I was gonna say to Nigerians. I'm gonna say to Nigerians, with the recent happening in the neighboring or the 36, maybe 37 state of Nigeria.
Niger.
It's like is a neighboring is one of the Nigerian states. Is a wake-up call, in the sense that Giant of Africa has become the loo of Africa. Giant of Africa has become the dumping toilet of Africa. Giant of Africa has become we can take any kind of shit given to us. And I don't know how long Nigerians think they can keep up with this act. If just Niger could do what they did, Nigerians, we can do better. A lot of African countries that have looked up to us have done beautifully and wonderfully good. And here we are suffering. There is no smile anymore for me to say suffering and smiling. No smile. Yet we end up making ourselves vulnerable more for these people, and they are not looking back. Imagine the ministers that he brought out, he brought out for you to come fixed on the remaining crackers that is left, that is, if there is any left. How long should we continue, Nigerians? You're now trekking from pillar to post. Maybe until the trekking move from Lagos to your villages, for those of us that are from Eastern region, maybe by the time we start trekking from Lagos to Abia State, it might even be the worst of it all, the other extension. At least somebody who is going to Onitsha, yes, Onitsha number will get there.
Onitsha along, I know.
So my own journey is still very, very far.
It is.
So what am I saying? For how long should we keep pretending and keep watching all of this mayhem befall us? Even those in the military, I'm very sure thousands and millions of them are not enjoying all this bullshit. And there are so-called educated. They call themselves graduates. We allow people who are nowhere, as in nowhere, not up to the standard of a chicken, to be doing whatsoever they choose and desire with us, just because somewhere is dictating the pipe, and we sit in the comfort of our zone, cutting other countries who are moving forward. While we are suffering, you have all it takes. Look at Niger. They have given you people a lead, though.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I'm gonna take another one. It's really good to hear from you again.
Enjoy your evening.
So you too.
Well, I keep enjoying it.
Bless you.
Bye.
All the best. Thank you. Right. They said that some of Nigerians are saying when they read about what happened in Mali, what happened in Burkina Faso, what happened in Guinea, and now what happened in Niger, they are now saying God when. Man, I don't think you should wish for it to. Well, I have a caller. Hello there.
Hello, my good general.
The Prince
Baba.
Jejeman. How are you?
Yes, so this is Prince Jejeman representing IPOB
I wanted to
for
say that too.
life.
Representing IPOB for life. Baba.
Better, Baba. Baba Udehil, thank you so much for the exposition. We are very, very grateful. My people, make na share. Yeah, my good general, with the thing is that we'll continue as you are doing, talking and exposing. Let everyone also join. Let not some just keep quiet and believing that some people will do it. It's gonna be a collective effort.
It has to be.
Okay. Yes. And Nigerian people should not lose hope. We have to advise them. We have to encourage them. Okay. We Biafrans, we have already left spiritually and physically, mentally. Just we are waiting for our referendum. Okay. The encouragement we have to give them, they should learn. If they cannot learn from Mali or any other country, according to our sister that just finished speaking, they should go and learn from animals, animal kingdom. You see, the lion always eat the bull, the one you call Malu. If you watch it in the bush, he always eat them. But how do they succeed in eating them? Is when they go one by one, they go astray, they just walk alone. But when they come in their millions and billions, because they are more in number, more than lion, you will see even the biggest lion will run away. Okay, you showed us today on this channel that Amechi has given Nigerian people expo. That the day they will carry stone, to stone them. If they don't, they will continue to thief. Amechi confirmed that they are thieves. All of them in Abuja, all these ministers, all these senators, all this House of Assembly, all of them are thieves. Amechi is one of the ministers. Okay, he himself is a rook. Until Nigerian people, wake up and know that this country belongs to them. It's not for few thieves from Chicago and those one from Niger. My good general. My good general. You see, another thing I noted this evening, according within your broadcast, is this. You see that guy that was in Aso Rock, the one that was what you call Israel or something.
Mm-hmm.
You said something that struck me. You said that he's a pastor. There's one thing I noticed that all these politicians, criminal thieves are doing. They look for all these mega churches and go there and hide themselves. And most of them will find their way, go to pastor school so that they can be very close to the GO, the one that is flying on private jets.
Mm-hmm.
And all these things they do is to target the time of election. Finish. Okay, their mind is not in the church, their mind is not with God. Okay, and their mind is not with the people. So the politics
just
in
manipulative things they are doing to use people and use what they believe people can easily align with and rob them. It's so sad.
Yes,
God is so patient. That's why I preached about that earlier.
My ego, like church like Redeem that has large number. These politicians, they need a number during the time of election.
They do.
Okay, this is how they manipulated the GO, who gave them Pastor Ruga. That one they are killing Christians when he was in with Buhari. They tell us he couldn't say anything. He was there only to go and bury and do condolence messages. So our people should be very, very careful. Because Jesus even said, "By their fruit you shall know them." These their actions, the way they speak, what they do. What they do mostly is how you know that these people, they are not for God. You know, most of them immediately they fail. The next thing they start to call is God. God will
Even
do
a
it. God
Mayfield
will help
carried
us.
Bible.
Pray.
Can you believe that?
You see,
He
that
was
is
carrying Bible to that court.
a lot of people in Nigeria carry Bible to do people. That now, as I'm telling you, the way the hunger is, many of them, no one fears God. They will carry Bible and do pew koro and tell you nothing will happen. You understand?
Well,
so it is disheartening, my brother. God bless you. God bless you, Baba. Continue
Thanks
the
so
good
much.
work.
Yeah,
Will they with you? Will they behind you? Anyhow.
No, now.
You
Thank
know,
you so
respect.
much. There is a line that I always love him to add, but it wasn't, so I help him, and that is for peace to reign in Nigeria. Let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu go. Let him go, just like your court said. And all this madness, watch them disappear. Hello there.
Hello, Mayegun.
Sir, how are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. It's Ifeanyi.
Is that Ifeanyi?
Yeah, it's me.
See, Ifeanyi is such a regular right now that he's one of those who have decoded how to make sure that you can always get in, no matter how busy. How are you, sir?
Yes, yeah, for the fact that I've not gotten you for the past 72 hours or something, it's been very difficult for me. So I said I must try and get you today.
Sorry about that. I'm glad that I'm glad I'm here and you are here too, Baba.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. There is no problem.
There's no problem.
Mayegun,
sir.
Mayegun, there is something fundamentally wrong with how we are living as a people. The way we live life as a people, Africans, there is something fundamentally wrong with that. You know the reason why when everybody travel outside Nigeria, they start preaching change. Like it's just like eye-opening. Then some of those who also join this, majority of your callers should be from those living in diaspora. Then those of them in Nigeria that have seen the road, maybe probably they start seeing movies, start seeing all kinds of things, and start seeing how people live their life. That's why majority of people are getting. But there are a lot of people in Nigeria does not even know that it is the responsibility of government to provide anything for them.
I agree with you. You remember that time when I said every time we talk about people fighting for good life or good government, that in all honesty, how many Nigerians have actually seen what good life really means in their lifetime? For them to now say, okay, maybe they deserve better.
Michael, let me tell you. Let me tell you a story. I went home one day and I was with my mother. We were sitting. So it was raining. Immediately it started raining. The light went off. So I got angry. That it's like my instant reaction was to get angry. Then my mother told me, wait, why are you angry? I said, why would they take the light? My mother said, can't I see it's about to rain? That when it's about to rain, they are supposed to take the light. Now, I have lived in Asia, I have lived in all this, I've lived in several places of the world. How am I going to start telling this old woman that it is not normal? That isn't how it is supposed to be. But Nigeria has perpetuated her. Nigeria has told her that whenever it's about to rain, that the little light she has is supposed to go up. Now she has all her life, she believes now that if it's about to rain and the light is still on, it becomes a privilege to her.
Not right.
Something is not right with the way we live as human beings. I'm saying this because I saw the woman praying. That woman praying, in all honesty, you are the one saying something wrong with that. If you post that thing on Facebook and say glory be to God, you're going to see several amen. And then when you are saying amen, you're going to see a praying woman. The God that did it for her should do it for me. A woman with big God. This is how our DNA wiring is, and it is wrong. There is something wrong with it. All these politicians you are seeing now that have big money, any of them can call any bishop to come and commission the houses, call any imam to come and commission their houses. And when the man or bishop gets there, the man will pray that wherever the person gets the money, that more money should come to them. Everybody knows where that money is coming from. this is how we live. Most people in his own village will now follow him with band and dancing music and everything to the village to give him a hero's welcome, because to them he is a hero. He has gone to Abuja and he has brought back something. What exactly? So they now feel that this is their way of getting something back from government. Many
and
of
if
them
you want something like that too for your own children, you better support him now. At least you want something for your own children like that too, Abi. So support him or don't question him. Wow.
Many of them now believe that the best thing is you queue into this man's idea so that you can be able to drink beer. Maybe at times he will give you 10,000 naira. They do not know that it is that man is eating their money. You are the only one that is crying because you are now burdened with the fact that you know that these people are thieves. Most of them don't know. So the kind of education Africa needs now is just like social education. It's not like going to schools in villages and start teaching people actuarial math, 2+2. The education we need now is just like social education. We have to go back to start. Like now, my mother is gone. I'm sorry to say this, but she's still alive. But now, she's not gone. She's still alive. But the gone I mean is the fact that how am I going to start telling nearly a 70-year-old
where are you going to start from? Making that kind of start.
A 70-year-old woman. A 70-year-old woman that if government continued working road that got to a nearby village. When I complained why it hasn't got into my side, my mother said I am not a grateful human being. She didn't raise me to be this way. You might think she's wrong, but she's not wrong.
I know.
This is
That's
what
the right way she knows. Of course.
This is what the society told that woman. So you cannot now begin to tell her all of a sudden why didn't an ambulance come to help her when she was sick? She's never seen that. Nobody has ever told her that is how it's supposed to be. So my mother knows that when she's about to die or something is happening, she has to trek from here to maybe God knows where to get medication for herself. That is what is normal to her. In fact, any day an ambulance comes, my mother wouldn't even enter it now because it's not normal.
Because she's going to be questioned like why or what's this and all that, and so strange to her system.
She is going to confirm from me because before she enters it, because to her it has to be a kidnapper. It could be kidnapper.
She won't follow them, I guess.
Follow them. There is something fundamentally wrong with how we live. I'll give others a chance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You never miss. I appreciate this. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you.
Indeed, there's so much wrong with us. And you'll be asking. That's why you see educated people that will be arguing with you on things that logically shouldn't make sense to them. And you'll be wondering, like, but you are educated. And they will be so. There's something wrong with us fundamentally. Hello there.
Hi, my good evening.
Hi, sir. Good evening. How are you?
It's Jack from London again. We're just seeing interesting times now.
It's an interesting time.
I think something cooking is happening, and my prayer is that let it happen beautifully. I believe that one morning we all wake up and hear the news, and you know what I'm talking about.
Really, you wish for that too.
Yes, why not? Well, absolutely. The guy took over Nigeria. He and his gang. I mean, he's not legitimate. So, for soldiers to come and snatch that back from him, is that wrong? That is not wrong. It's in maths. 0 times 0 is 0.
It's still 0.
Exactly. In mathematics, 0 times 0 is 0. So, of all the things that shameless Buhari should lament about, is lamenting about Coup, because he knows that something may happen. They know it. They know it at the back of their hands. All what they are doing right now is just futile efforts to see. They don't know who is the enemy. It could even be those people that he thinks that he surrendered himself with may strike him one day, and it's going to be bad. That is a bad news.
Like this, you know what I mean? The mood of the country, the people, and all of that. If it continues like this, or get worse,
it's gonna be a temp. I think there's a global shift. Guess what happens? I just read somewhere right now where the the mercenary group Wagner in Russia, they are congratulating the coup plotters. What does that tell you? Trouble there, while they.
Oh, no wonder. Maybe Tinubu is also playing a smart one. Do you know that he also sent shitty man to St. Petersburg to meet Putin? I actually wanted to share that with people earlier. I have a clip.
Can I tell you something about Putin?
Tell us.
That man is a good man. I want to shock everybody. That guy is a good man. He does not represent or stand up for anything evil, and that's why the West is demonizing him. That man is a good man. I'm sure he's good. I mean, he's not he's a straight shooter. He's going to tell them straight in their face, listen, you guys, these guys know what is happening in America. They know what is happening in the whole world and all that. Imagine stupid Kamala Harris coming to tell us about democracy when even in America, they have not even got their own acts together. They are coming to stick her dirty mouth into our politics. All they want to sell to us is whether we are treating gay people well, or whether we are not treating gay people. You see. So the thing is, the right thing is just on the ball. This government is not going to continue. But what I saw, I liked it. Those ministers, I know a lot of people. I mean, you don't realize the caliber of people that are listening to this program, and whoever that is in Agbado government that is listening now, listen to my voice. You guys are going to get it very, very, very soon. See, as a Malian Minister of Finance is crying because they've given him 48 hours. If he cannot explain all the dirty dealings, he's going to face the bullets by firing squad. So be it. Yes, they are going to send him back to God. They're going to send him to God for the ultimate punishment. That's what he said. In 48 hours, they give him 48 hours. He does not explain all the dirty dealings that he knows about. They're going to time. He's going to go. Yeah, they're going to execute him. So be it. I know it sounds gory. It's not a nice thing, but listen, these people have taken up. They've taken down Africa. They've taken us for granted. People are suffering. People are suffering. Look at even the little thing that you brought to the fore from Kwara State and all that. And there are many people will tell all sorts of stories from all over the world. How can you be electing Amechi and all that? And it just made sense that that woman that they just made, that they said that she's young.
Minister, from Delta.
Yeah, if you remember when the day he came back from France, go back. I think she was the one that was all showing all her tattoos and grinning. All of them are all political jobbers and all that. Redeem, God knows, Redeem is no longer a church and all that, because the GO is a liar. He's not straight. He's a liar. When you're supporting evil and all that, you're emissary of the devil himself or yourself. Your vice president, who is your pastor, you couldn't tell him the truth and all that. It was part of the government that brought Nigeria to where it is today and all that. Part of the rot and all that. You can't come out and say, hey, I'm not a part of this, you should speak to them and all that. But it was okay. And what you're telling us that we should be patient with Tinubu, that that rigged the election. None of them. I have not seen where he came out and said, listen, all this bigotry and all this rigging is wrong in the eyes of God and all that. That means he's telling you that he's okay. He's telling you that he's okay.
Let me also go to another person as well, so that we can also hear theirs. You were just shooting from all cylinders, Baba. But thank you. I like that.
Have a lovely evening.
So here. Hello there. I actually thought I got you.
Hello.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you did. Hello, Michael. Good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Just just a quick one, really. Just very interesting. How will I put it? Podcast today. But I keep saying that Tinubu's government is the gift that keeps on giving. If people understand that statement, right? I don't think there's anyone with eyes who cannot see that Tinubu is surrounded by criminals, right? and he has elected criminals to become his ministers. So we know that nothing is going to change in Nigeria. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because these people have no expertise, no acumen, no strategy, no nothing.
It's pretty much like grab. What can they get?
Exactly.
When they start grabbing for real, then we all know what that means.
Exactly. We all know what that means. Now, I've been thinking about the entity called Nigeria, and I've realized that Nigeria, the contraption called Nigeria, is actually holding Black people back. Not just the South, not the Southwest or the Southeast, or the Igbos and the Yorubas and even the Hausas, because the Hausas are not the Fulanis. This is something I've always tried to tell people. They are two different people. And there are some people who are, the people who are indigenous to the North, we share the same, I don't know how to put it, we have different cultures and everything, but there's a way Nigerians are that we all share, but they are not the Fulanis. The Fulanis come from Fula, they come from somewhere else. Okay? And they from Futajalon, they come from somewhere in all the Sahel, towards the the more desert areas, right? And these people have infiltrated Nigeria or the North, basically, and even kind of like killed most of the Hausa people, taking over their lands. I remember when I was in university in Jos, they tried to do that in Jos as well. And I think they're trying to do it slowly but surely, trying to go, deeper into like the middle belt of Nigeria. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that this contraction called Nigeria is actually holding our progress back as a people. Because people recognize that Nigerians, when they do go out of the country, do exceedingly well. But the problem is how to mirror that success in our own country, whereby we can be successful in our own country. We don't need to go to America and all of these other places to be successful, notably, right? Now, I don't want to talk too much, right? But with Tinubu, I just feel like even if you didn't know before, right? We now know who the criminals are, so there's no excuse. So that you know who to target with your stones. Now, for all of the people talking about religious leaders. You and I, okay, those people say they read the Bible. You have your so-called quiet moments with God, right? And then you still wake up in the morning on a Sunday and you still go back to the same church. That person is not the problem. You are the problem. You are the one who keeps going back. You are the one who keeps giving them money. You are the one who keeps raise 500 naira.
Auditoriums and all that.
Exactly. Did God tell you that He needs your money to do anything for you? He doesn't need you because all things belong to Him. Okay, so He doesn't need you. Yes, as an act of faith, you can do something, right? But you when they come and tell you that you should give them this so that God will listen. That's the first and last I'll go to that church. I'm telling you for myself, I will never go to a church where they ask me and it is a must, and then I read my Bible.
Tell you that now they are not forcing you now, others will pay it now, and all of that. But the message system doesn't. Like
the message system, my point,
when you keep doing that,
you are the ones funding them. Exactly. Now, if your pastor is living above your own means, it is time for you to stop going to that church. It is time for you to stop to say, you know what? That's not the way it's supposed to be. If Jesus came into this world, because I'm a Christian, and God who owns all things, knows all things, did not make him a king or a prince, right? He made him the son of a carpenter. Think about it. Okay? He made him the son of a carpenter. Not only did he do that, he now crucified him on the cross. That means, all of this your pastor that you are serving, because you're not serving God. Because if you're serving God, you will walk away. We are part of the problem. We need to stop. And when we stop going to all these churches, right, and then we start doing the right thing, they'll start. I don't know. I just, it boggles the mind. It really does boggle the mind.
And it can be so
anyway
too. Thank you.
let me stop my ranting and let somebody else carry on. I beg.
Okay. You have dropped your own bombshell, and I bet it's a lot of people sort of shaking their head like, hello there.
Hello,
hello, sir.
How are you doing today?
I am very well, thanks. How are
How
you,
is
sir?
the family?
Well, we are here. We thank God. Thanks for
Okay,
asking.
my good. Yeah. This is Ifai calling from California,
And
San
that's
Diego.
fine from Cali. How you doing, Baba?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I just lost my favorite uncle 2 days ago. I mean,
Oh,
in
sorry
Nigeria.
about that. Is he an old man?
Yeah. No, he's just in his 50s. And it's so unfortunate. So now I'm
Sorry
preparing
about
for
that.
burial and stuff.
I know.
Okay.
There you go.
Let me go
Please.
down to this. Yeah, this Nigerian thing. I watched your program yesterday. Sheyi was talking about how he supports his dad and all that stuff. Sheyi and the politicians we have in Nigeria are people I call wealth without enterprise. They are political jobbers. He's just there making money. He cannot pinpoint any business that he owns except the government money that he's getting. And they say, show me, talking about Tinubu and his ministers. They say, show me the people you roll with, and I'll tell you who you are.
Absolutely.
Obasanjo, 2003 to 2007, brought the technocrats, people I call the super ministers. And the Nigeria had a boom, economic boom, and our debts were relinquished. And Tinubu now is bringing in people like, for example, his Senate president is Akpabio. And Akpabio, from my own understanding, Akpabio, it's a section 115/D, the Electoral Act of 2022. It says a person who signs a nomination paper or result form as a candidate or more than one constituency at the same election commits an offense and liable to a conviction of maximum term of 2 years imprisonment. And Akpabio ran as a senator, and he removed. They did a rerun with one Ekpo, and he now did a rerun and he won, while he was then still contesting for the presidential election. So he's supposed not to even be the Senate president because, according to our law, he have committed an act he's supposed to be in jail for 2 years. And this same Akpabio stole over 108 billion naira from the coffers of Akwa Ibom. EFCC is still investigating him for that. And I can even read one of his withdrawal from his account, number 10103758881 of Senate Bank. This man took 22.1 billion naira away from the coffers. That's just one withdrawal from Akwa Ibom money. And this is that same person now sitting in that table, calling all these criminals to align as the ministers. I remember when Ameti was saying that when FFK was the Minister of Aviation, Peter Odili, as the governor then, gave him 2 billion naira to fix Port Harcourt runway.
Runway, yeah.
This dude stole the money till tomorrow. That's what they do, going there to go do. They're going there to steal. It's like every chop I chop. Now your turn, no. Now their turn now to go and chop.
Na Ashiwa na Jagaba and turn no, turn by turn no, na Jagaba and turn no. Asari, wait for your turn no. Na Jagaba and turn. We call it chop. I mean, shop by shop Nigeria Limited or turn by turn Nigeria Limited. And who are the losers? The people.
We are. Who can tell me that in a same country that somebody can steal over 108 billion and he's still walking away, be your Senate president?
You are talking about an 8 billion. Did you not see that of NDDC probe?
Yeah, he continued.
Probe, where that guy actually pretended to faint. Remember?
Yeah.
All of that and all of that probe, everything is now in the trash can of history. The criminals are enjoying their loot, including Akpabio. Trillions.
Look at oh my goodness. Look at what they're charging this guy for then gone. This is the people that created economic hardship. Nigeria used over 90-something% of our economy to service debt. Under these guys, 77 trillion. 77 trillion are in debt. And now, like what you were saying yesterday, they're trying to borrow more. They are trying to borrow. So what we're doing now, we borrow money to squander. Yeah. As they're not creating any jobs, no industries, no nothing. And we're talking about churches, or mosque. Building mosque, that's okay. But what about building factories? These Nigerians are coming there they give you tithes, they give you money, they give you all the stuff. Why not these churches build industries? They're building schools to still rip those people off. If you're a good man of God, why not just build industries and hire these people? You're building schools, you're building more churches, you're still ripping them off, and they don't pay no taxes. So it's all politics. So, Mayego, I just want to round up here. That's all I want to say.
Again.
I'm just bereaved now, morning of my uncle, so there is okay.
My evening as well, all right, and that of many others. Same way we are like, it's vice versa. This is what makes us, sort of special on Mayego's Diary Political. Thank you. All
right, take care.
Yes. Now that's Ifeanyi from Cali. I've got two Ifis. Neil. Hello there.
Yeah, good evening, Mayego.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, long time.
I know. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. This is Akin from London.
Okay, from London, I know. Now you are calling directly. I would have easily spotted you if you had called through the WhatsApp, but I could I could sense the voice, by the way. So how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. I've been trying the WhatsApp, so when it didn't go through, so I keep going.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You are here now.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Thanks for the eye-opening job you are doing. God bless you. The real God, not the God of Nigeria. I pray that everything works out for you.
Amen.
And then to the members of the Temple of Truth, God bless you all. And save us from the hand of this, the Koolu, the president of Abuja of Nigeria. I just want to, because I've been trying to get to you for the past 2 months, but fortunately I was able to get you today. I just want to make a reference to what Ifeanyi said the other time. And Ifeanyi really says something here. And it's just like what somebody even said, that lack of critical thinking. You see, if you look at the young children of nowadays in Nigeria, when they are growing up, when NEPA brought a light, they will say, up NEPA.
That's right.
So it has become something that is now conditioned in their mind. It's now part and parcel of their life. That light is a blessing. Electricity is just a blessing. And some of the time when I went home to Nigeria, our people used to say, although I just come not do, we don't let them bring light. And when the light is taken away, they say, God, when are they going to bring it again? And these people, just back to what I said about the critical thinking, they don't know that they have already paid for this light through their tax system. And at the same time, the government is is the duty and the job of the government to supply electricity, maintain roads, and do all these things. Just like what Ifeanyi said. You see, our people they were accustomed, it has been just like in my place in the Kale area, there hasn't been a light there for over 20-something years. One man said it jokingly one time that if they bring light now in an area like Niger or to some areas in the
Niger, and all those areas.
Some people will run into the bush. They will run and will say, "Hey, what is this?" Yeah,
because they've never seen electricity. Wow.
Yeah. So it has been like that. So, and now look at what you are doing on Yoruba Nation.
Mm-hmm.
This is the job of the government. The money is there for them. But look at the rules that are called ministers. Look at the governors. Look at the councillors. Look at You see, the way I call them vampires. And when you look at this thing they call bats, I was telling my brother, who's a professor, that I told you about him. In America, I said, brother, do you know what they call bats? I said, when we are watching movies, the moment you see a bat, it's a vampire. It's an animal that doesn't have, that it secretes through the mouth and gives back through the mouth at the same time. And this is, the Yoruba used to say, Adon, Kosheku, Kosheye.
You can't really say what it is. Is he a rat or is he a bird? You just can't say. And Yoruba use that phrase for people who are very cunning, unpredictable, and then manipulative.
Yes, I said, do you know what the kind of person you are, the meaning of bat? And you people, you are saying you are baticized. I mean, that means you.
That's how we call them bat idiots.
Look at them. What does bat do when it's coming out or it's going back? It will be, you see them making this kind of noise all together. And when you look at this APC, their supporters and themselves, they threaten before you say something. When they see you about to say something, the truth. Then the next thing you see them shouting you down. They go this and that. But what they lack what they call, they don't want to listen to you. They don't have an idea. All what they want to know is that how can you say somebody go one day? We want Nigeria to be okay. Whoever that is there, yeah, it doesn't matter the tribal bigotry they are playing. And I was just telling, just like continue, I'm just putting everything together, man. I think you go on, yeah, because of time. And at the same time, now when they are playing their religious bigotry and their racial
their tribal card, those ethnic divisive order,
Yes. I was telling somebody, I said, look at what is happening. They are killing all these people, they are destroying them. And let them go back to where they come from. And I said, you know, these are human beings too. And you call yourself a Christian. What does the Bible say? It says, love your neighbor and yourself. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit to yourself your neighbor's property or anything that belongs to your neighbor. It says, Jekon law, Tinubu is the man, this and that. I said, look what I'm telling you today, and I'm not going to call you back again, and you are not going to be my friend. But go and mark it down. This man that you supported will torture you, will give you majele, you will swallow it, you won't die. No, you won't die. The majele will not kill you, but it will turn your belly, and at the end of the day, you run to me to give you some kind of, and I will tell you, just like what Jesus Christ said. He said, I don't know you before. Now she's crying.
You know, it's so sad when a lot of people, because they are defending politicians who don't like them, right? They begin to call those who call out the politicians enemies. Oh, it's because you are his enemy. God will destroy all his enemies. Enemy of somebody who is coming out to destroy you? You call people who are exposing them as enemies? Now here we go. Your friends are dealing with you. And here we are. Who are you going to call upon?
Yeah. I said just to buttress what you just said. I told him and I told them, I said, look, now they have arrived. Now they are showing all of you shaking you. Now, is there any discrimination?
I know.
Is there any discrimination between Yoruba and Igbo and Fulani now? All of you are receiving the water. I said, look at this man. Look at him. This man is bringing in a terrorist. Shekima is bringing his own terrorists. So you are living between terrorists, Boko Haram, and what do you call these people again?
Iswapo. They have Iswapo 1, 2, 3.
In Lagos, you have MC Oluero, you have Governor Point and Kill. At the ghetto. And you have, look at all the people in the ministers they are calling now. Look at them. Look at their
What we are
their
asking is that
trademark.
where is that renewed hope is coming from? And those who call it a
Managing-
renewed shege, are they wrong? Because right before our very eyes, Saike, those who shouted the Milokon, they are now saying Enekon Lomo. And it's true, Enekon Lomo this time around, though. You know that.
They are
So
recycling. They are recycling the evil people. You can see them. They hatching each other. They bringing each other. So that you know. So the evil they want to be floating. So anybody that want to come up, that you are going to look at what they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu. Yeah. Look at the release. Olori Olopa, that evil man that you saw everything playing. I mean, the tailor of Hush Puppy. You saw everything clear. And they released the man.
They released that one. Kiari.
Then she already chased it to the bush. They chase Koolu to Benin. They chase the good people. They don't want them to
dangerous. They tag them people that we should run away from. But guess what? The real criminals are getting the pass, even red carpets. Saki.
Well,
thank you so much.
It's only because I'm now a British. It's not that. But Nigeria will always be my home. But I just want that country to be divided into four places. I have said that before. Thank you.
God bless you, sir. In the absence of all of that, what people are saying that if they cannot allow us to have a conversation about Nigeria to determine how much of part of that we want to be, then why don't you just let everybody leave and go their own separate way? Go figure it out. Let's go figure it out ourselves. If you are not going to have that conversation that will say, okay, what exactly make us Nigerians? What are the conditions that the regions that were forced together to form today's Nigeria, did they want to do that again? Do they want to do that again? And if they want to do it again, under what conditions? They don't want to have that charge because they are afraid a lot of regions are likely going to pull out. It's a conversation they are so scared of having that even though if the conversation is about unity, it's about respect, it's about people stating their own differences and kind of, let's set the barrier. If you still want Nigeria to continue, under what condition, and who are going to be part of that, that kind of thing. They believe that if they should give that chance to people to have their charts, majority of the middle belt towns, southern Nigeria and the rest, they are likely going to embrace breakup. Sure you get. And that's why they don't want to have that chart. And since they don't want to have that chart, we all seems to be trapped. And when you trap people who don't want to be in the same place together, okay, when you force them to be in the same place together, they will burn the whole place down. The survivors will eventually leave the contraption and they won't be part of it anymore. Sure you get. So I have another call. Did I just miss your call? I'm so sorry. Somebody who has been trying to get in finally got in, but the moment I get the calls, it dropped. Hello there.
Yes, Mr. God. All hail Biafra, all hail Oduduwa.
All hail Biafra, all hail Oduduwa. Brother, how are you?
I'm good. Just in your show, another fire show.
Thank you.
Thought provoking, and spilling it the way it's supposed to be, real, and facts. Nothing made up. It's very tiring mentally. I don't know how you do it, but you gotta keep fighting. It's a mission that you were put here for, and we support you 100% with this. It's quite unfortunate that we're in 2023 and we're still behaving like we're back in the 1914 or something, medieval time more or less. Where you have 200 million mumus still allowing this thing to continue. Sheeps. You go look on this side, you got the Geos and the so-called man of God doing their thing. Then you have on the other side, you have them doing. It's just such a corrupt place, and it's tough, Michael. But I believe in what you're doing. is also playing a part. What Simon is doing is playing a part. Where all the freedom fighters, activists are talking and speaking the truth. We may not all agree with what everyone is saying together, but we're all on the same tune, on the same wavelength of enlightenment and breaking up this contraction because it's killing. It's very detrimental to everyone. I've been seeing a place where, you suffer, it's just nothing, all you know is just suffering. I mentioned this to you before. I was at the Owerri Airport when the Owerri Airport caught on fire in 2018, I believe, 2018 or 2019. One of those. The most scariest time of my life. Total chaos. No sort of coordination. Equipment is not working. The whole place almost burnt down. Almost. If they didn't get that fire truck to start working. Wow. That's when I decided, enough is enough. I have to do something. I am doing things I can't talk about behind the scenes, but just know that.
I have heard news, I've seen reports of a lot of near, that's kind of a near death kind of experience when it comes to flying in Nigeria into some places. Safety, health check, and the rest of them is like people are just your life is in the hand of God anyway. Like you're just there. If you land safely, if you land roughly, all land and landing. But if you crash, well, maybe that's also the will of God. Like to some extent, I've heard all of that. So you experienced that. You did.
Yes, I experienced it. So this is why I have more passion. I'm more driven now to do something about it. And when Nigeria happens to you, that's when you wake up. And most of the people Nigeria have not happened to because they're not around or they have not been touched yet. But one way or other, we're all going to be touched. And then maybe we all will wake up. That morning that we'll wake up and it's heard that the whole place is gone. We're wishing for that day. But I don't want to say much. Yeah, I'll let you go. Keep doing the good work.
I thought you want to add something else, or if you do want to, you can. Just saying thanks for what you've said so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to, I know everyone is trying to get on. I've been trying for like 30 minutes now, so I just cut it short out. Tomorrow's another day. Free Mazinandi Kano's free Sunday Igbo, free all the freedom fighters and activists that have been jailed unjustly at the hands of this zoological republic. Peace.
Let them go because they've done nothing wrong, and we know how much they spend in trying to let it stick like they've done something wrong. Let them go, and that could actually be the beginning of the most elusive peace in Nigeria. I personally feel that. However, thank you, brother. Okay, you should have a wonderful one yourself. Now, I am about rounding up. All right, I just received sort of a message concerning Mr. Lukman. That is, that has become the responsibility of the Yoruba Union. So the SEMI is, so they've done the operation, okay? Right? We have had the operation done. They've sort of, medically amputated the second leg to the safety parts. Now we've kind of gone to recovery now, where he's going to be recovering. Now his recovery also requires medication. Like, of course, it's going to be on lifetime medication anyway. It's going to require medication. It's going to require some other psychological and what have you, physical and psychological. Do you get that? So we are covering all of that too. Sorry if this, I hope this will make you much uncomfortable, okay? This is Mr. Lukman in his private ward in a lorry after his surgery today. That was him. And I am so grateful to the leadership of the Yoruba Union, the team, Princess Balogun, and all of you. I've got Ahmed, Olanrewaju Buhari. That's our high in all these places. Okay, he's such a dedicated young man that you would love to have around, and Yoruba Union is quite blessed to have him. So they are still very much there, handling things and then bringing us all the reports. We expected their full report back tomorrow, Saturday. All right, and I will bring you more afterwards. So thank you. If you know that your penny, or your pound, your cent or your dollar, your naira or your kobo, your euro or your cent, contributed to that, be proud of who you are, especially for those of you who have always been part of Mayegun's life-touching, programs as well. So thank you. Also, for those who have been trying to get on, I'm going to say, let's take a night again, okay? I'm going to be with you the other time. But until then, for what we have shared so far, and for those who joined us midway, doesn't really matter, okay? You can watch it all over again. And for those who have been here from the beginning, if you have liked the broadcast, if you have shared it, you can share it again, or you don't have to like it again. I'm going to see you some other time. I'm sorry. I used another style to say bye-bye, not the usual one, right? But that's me saying good night, okay? Thank you. And stay safe. From here, good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary political. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun òpùrọ̀ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.